attendance today. I would like to welcome a happy birthday, 247 years old, to the United States Marine Corps today. Mr. Jacobs, that was for you. Can I have a roll call, please?
Wow, okay.
Here.
Birthday?
Here.
Here.
I mean, Marines are okay, but Army's better. But
Are there any conflict of interest statements to the board members?
was the Army.
No.
Sorry.
Approval of the minutes of the meeting of November 3rd, 2022.
I'll make a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Short-term memory loss. Right? We have no bid openings today. Matters from the department heads or their representatives. Looking, I see nothing. Okay. Let's get into correspondence. Item A. Correspondence received from Dean Button requesting the approval for the agreement with the Department of the Army
Number A.
for the Dowling Park Stormwater Improvement Section 219 project.
Section 219 is a government program of the Water Resources Development Act grant. It doesn't just happen to be the 219 project in the 219 area code. It's for public works improvements funded through the U.S. government, contracted with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Army. Mm-hmm. And we are doing a project, we've committed to doing a project with them. About a year ago, the Congressman's office approached the city looking for a project that could be done through the 219 program. And we knew that we had a problem in Dowling Park with the flooding, particularly the times that occurred. May 23rd of 2020 was a significant rain event. Then the events that happened, prior in 2008 and before. And so what we started with was the first phase of a multi-phase project that hopefully the government will support in the future. This is a storm sewer outfall from the Dowling Park Pond that will direct stormwater to the large stormwater line that's in Kentucky that crosses the Borman Expressway into the Southeast Hessville Pump Station. At some point, we hope to upgrade the pumps at the Southeast Hessville Pump Station so that it'll handle the capacity and try to limit the overland flooding that occurs in that portion of Hessville, right, where those poor folks had to deal with all that flooding. The commitment from the government is $2.5 million. Our match is 25%, which is, my math is right, $825,000. There's no green sheet for this because they haven't bid the project out. And we won't know what our real commitment will be until that gets bid. And so this is required to be executed prior to going to bid through the U.S. Army Corps. We've done these projects in the past, typically through the sanitary district, but this is sort of a combined effort. And I will say that the sanitary district has reviewed our plans and agrees with what we're doing because it eventually affects their assets.
Okay, since the Army's involved, I will make a motion to approve the Dean Button's request.
Hoo-ha.
I will second. Thanks, Dean.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good one. Item B, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting $364,300 of CIB funding to be allocated for the new traffic signal at Sportsplex and corresponding agreement with Beam, Longest, and Neft submitted for approval.
So the city of Hammond engaged Beam, Longest, and Neft to do a traffic study at the mid-block. It'd be about the 6600 block, so it'd be halfway between 65th and 67th to determine if a traffic signal would be appropriate at that location. We've done a report, we've submitted it to NDOT, they looked at it favorably, and so we would like to move forward with the design of the intersection and the signal to go in at this location. As you know, the YMCA is building a new facility or intends on building a new facility where the old Carson Prairie Scott building was, and the trip generations show that for people arriving and departing from the location that a traffic signal is warranted at this location. It's a three approach traffic signal. So the boulevard will be north and south, and then into the Sportsplex, so the west approach. We tried to work with Huhtamaki. They were reluctant to remove or add an approach that would line up with our traffic signal, and so we're not building a east approach to this intersection, and Huhtamaki's aware of that, and they're fine with it because they need their truck entrance that's a little bit further to the north where the Pizza Hut building is. Okay. Monday night, the Capital Improvements Board approved the funding allocation that had previously been approved by the city controller and the mayor, and I would take any questions and I'd ask for your approval.
So this is going to be like a third stoplight just in that short quarter, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not something that NDOT normally would do, but, you know, I referred them to 41 in Schererville, Highland, where there's 5 traffic signals right next to each other, and it's like, it's a little bit unusual to have that, but as you know, the entrance to the Sportsplex is a little bit complicated as it exists now, right? The exiting's not too bad, but all of that's gonna be revamped. The right in, right out that is along where the north side of drive of Carson Prairie Scott has been very problematic. We had proof that trucks were going in the out lane, you know, in the right out off of the boulevard.
Oh, yeah, without
And
question,
then, I mean, semis are, you know, a lot of people are making a left turn movement into that
Right.
from the left turn lane, so that'll get eliminated. There's some concerns about, you know, security in the area, and that quick right out of the Sportsplex is likely to be removed, and then all the traffic would either come in from the traffic signal, the new signal, or at 167th, or one of the other entry points. And
Left turn lane going north, right?
left turn lane going north, yep. Yeah, they're actually, if I recall correctly, there will be 3 departing lanes, one left turn and 2 right turn lanes to go south, because the predominant turn movement is right.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I will make a motion then to approve Mr. Button's request.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item C on our agenda today, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting $115,519.50 of CIB funding to be allocated for the supplemental resurfacing work on the annual resurfacing program submitted for approval.
So we ran over budget on our $1 million. The city in the past has spent about $2.4 million annually. We've sort of been, it's been difficult for us to meet that limit. So this year we were at $1 million, and so this is an over budget amount. We're just trying to true up the funding capacity for the program. I'd ask for your approval.
Okay. Sure.
Make a motion then to approve Mr. Button's request.
Dean, I just want to thank you for the lapidary explanation on all your correspondences today, and I will second that.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, you have one more.
Thank you. I do have one more, and I forgot to mention that on that action, the mayor and the city controller had approved that allocation.
Yes, we have green sheets. Item D, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting advertising dates of November 17th, 2022, and November 24th, 2022, with a bid opening of December 8th, 2022 for the Taylor Row site preparation submitted for approval. Wow.
Taylor Row is the development that's occurring along Homan Avenue between Sibley and Rimbach, the old Goldblatt's site. The old Goldblatt's building foundation remains. We've done some evaluation work that was funded through the Redevelopment Commission. See the complications that are in front of us. The new foundations for the new buildings can't be founded on the old foundation of the Goldblatt's building because it would settle differentially, right? And so we need to remove the perimeter wall and break up the footer at the recommendation of our geotechnical engineer, Advanced Engineering here in Hammond. To do that and process the concrete into smaller pieces, backfill, and remove any deleterious material that we find as we dig out, like wood products or steel or anything that can't be used as backfill. So we're asking for approval to go to bid on this project. At this time, I don't have an idea of what this is going to come in at. I don't have a firm sort of estimate on what this project's going to come in. We sort of need to see what the market bears.
Okay, good.
Ask for your approval.
I'll make a motion then to approve the advertising dates along with the bid opening date.
I'll second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item E, correspondence received from Chief of Police William Short requesting Correctional Officer Kyle Thompson to receive the promotional raise due to him effective November 8th, 2022, submitted for approval.
Make a motion to approve Chief Short's request.
I'll second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item F, correspondence received from Reith Riley requesting to close Russell Street intersection west of Holman to tie in the water line from November 14th, 2022 through November 21st, 2022. Yes,
So this is downtown Holman reconstruction project. The water main dead ends right now, the new water main dead ends right now on the north side of Russell Street on Holman. We need to make that connection here before winter sets in and get the southbound lanes paved. And so we're asking for a one-week closure. This has been coordinated with HAST. So they're aware of the condition of a temporary closure at Russell Street and have informed the parents and the faculty about accessing the school from State Line Road. We'd ask for your approval on this action.
so total closure?
Total
right there,
closure,
that
total
short
closure
section?
for one, yes, sir, for 1 week.
Okay.
As you know, we converted Russell Street to two-way. It's been very effective and very useful, and the school's been very pleased with that decision, but we need to get this work done prior to winter setting in.
Okay.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve Reith Riley's request.
I'll second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you. Matters from board members. Mr. Long?
No, sir.
Ms.
Nothing.
Huerta? Nothing. Okay. Item 9, new business. Agreement to rehabilitate property located at 843 Logan Street, submitted for approval.
Yes,
Smith.
Mr. President, Board, good morning. I believe you should have an agreement there for rehabilitation, signed by the property owner, requested by Mr. Luter and staff at the inspections department, and I would request the board approve it.
Okay.
And set it for status at a date, 30 days, 2 weeks after the ending of the rehab agreement. Should be about 3 months from now.
December 22nd.
December 22nd, so we're going into,
Why don't we just do it after the first of the year then?
yeah. First of the year.
30 days after December 22nd.
Wow.
We can do March 23rd.
I'm thinking maybe like,
You said a couple
Sooner?
weeks after.
Yeah,
Oh, a couple weeks.
yeah,
I thought
weeks
it was a
after.
couple months.
sorry, yeah, I'm sorry, maybe like mid-January?
19th?
Sure,
January 19th?
sure.
Okay. Okay, then I will make a motion to approve the agreement to rehabilitate 843 Logan and set it over for status to January 19th, 2023.
I'll second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Sorry, I thought I heard months.
Item B, order to rescind, order to release, order to demolish for property located at 1244 Indiana Street, submitted for approval.
Yeah, I wish I would have printed the pictures off, but another great rehab, and this is an area of the city that I think a lot of times we just assume the property is going to be knocked down, so this was a nice work by the contractor and the owner, and it's, you know, obviously it'll be an improvement to the city and back on the tax roll, so it was a great rehab. I request its approval to rescind.
Okay, then I will make a motion to approve the order to rescind for 1244 Indiana.
I'll second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oh, man, there he is. Item C, right-of-way permits, 9. Received from engineering, submitted for approval.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Board.
Good morning.
Morning.
So, multiple ones from Passion, working on a train.
Yes.
One being Condit and Lyman. They are shutting that down for approximately a week and a half to tie in some sewer. So we didn't see any problem with that. There's a detour. It's kind of a low-volume residential street.
Okay.
Another one being AT&T by Cabela's Drive for the new car wash. They're doing a boring to tie in a service, approximately 125 feet. So there shouldn't be a problem with that. Water
There's going to be a
department-
little bit of closure?
No, that's
No
not going to be a
closure.
closure.
Okay, okay.
It's just in the right-of-way.
Gotcha.
So, let me see, NIPSCO's coming in on 165th, east and west, by Calumet Avenue, and replacing some poles. They did some testing, they found some wooden poles that are deteriorating, so it's just scattered. So that's not gonna have a closure, they're just gonna take the pole out, put another one in. And also, Passion has multiple extensions for closures up by Goslin and Dearborn area, which they're building in there. And that property, the right-of-way actually is going to be vacated. So that's in the hands of the attorneys. So that's it.
You're comfortable, right?
I am comfortable with it. Yes, sir.
All right.
And ladies,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you. I'll make a motion then to approve the right-of-way permits.
I'll second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item D, acknowledgement of notice to owners of affected property at 24 Marble Street.
Just request that you acknowledge that. I don't think there's any need for.
Okay. All right. Sure. For the record, the board acknowledges the notice to owners of affected property at 24 Marble Street, with a copy going to Mr. Button.
Does that require your signature? I don't think so, right?
No, no,
Okay,
sir.
good, yep.
Okay. Okay, moving on to old business, status 4407 Baltimore.
Anyone here on 4407 Baltimore? So this is a property, I think we all remember, there was an older gentleman in there. He had passed away. We redid the demolition. His son came before the board, mentioned that he was selling it to a new owner. We had previously let NIPSCO know that we were terminating the electric and gas. And just, the only reason I bring this up is because I think it lets you know the condition. It's the first time in the hundreds of demolitions we've done that I've ever had NIPSCO call me and said they weren't able to get to the pole to terminate it because there was too much brush and overgrowth and a beehive or whatever else they said. So anyway, Nick and Inspections got a contractor in there to clear that, so we were able to terminate it. In the meantime, the new owner did request a rehab inspection. That was done by Mr. Luter. A strong recommendation by Mr. Luter after the inspection. And this doesn't happen very often, but it happens. But I've had a handful of them, and his recommendation is that this place needs to get knocked down and a new home be built on that spot. So we're going to move forward with the demolition. I mean, I feel bad for the new owner because they bought something, they knew about the demolition, but we are pushing forward on this one. And if the board has any objection to that, I'd like to hear that now. Otherwise, this is a status, and I'm just letting the board know that that's the inspections department recommendation, and the law department concurs with that.
Okay.
Well, I got to admit, I was surprised when the idea of rehabilitating the house came up, because I went there when we were trying to get him out of the house, and it never seemed like you could rebuild that house ever, to me, so it doesn't surprise me. Do we need to make a motion?
I don't think so. We're just going to, I just want to let the board know, because we did set it for status just because it was kind of, we had a rehab going, or I'm sorry, we had an inspection going, there was a potential new owner. We're going to send out, and Linda, just make sure we make a note of this, we're going to send out the letters to the owner, the new owner, saying, by the way, we're moving forward, you got to make sure to get your stuff out, demolition's imminent.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Status 7508 Birch, and I believe Mr.
Driscoll's
here
on,
for-
yep.
Okay.
So set the record, this is 7508 Birch. Last time we were here was October 20th. Mr. Driscoll appeared via Zoom, so did his client, Mr. Hothy. Mr. Hathi indicated that he had decided that he was going to take over some management of some of his properties himself and not the property manager. I believe that's occurred. He also referenced a construction company or contractor that I think at the time we didn't know if was licensed or not, but I think it's been determined that they were. According to Mr. Farrell, they have not pulled permits yet, but we believe that everything's starting to get squared away. Yep. So I'll turn it over to Mr. Driscoll for any update he may have.
Good morning, everyone. Actually, I've got a copy of a permit that wasn't pulled. It was pulled on October 31.
Okay. Great.
So it was issued to New Creation Inc. There was confusion. It was a different New Creation by the same name or something. But regardless, they're obviously licensed that they were able to pull this permit. So it's permit by residential alteration contract New Creation issued to Sam Hobby and reverted on October 31. So I guess that's the update, and we're still for his commence.
So I think the only thing that needs to be kind of confirmed is, as you know, Jamie, we have an expired agreement to rehabilitate, I believe. We probably just want to do a quick amendment to that to extend the time, and maybe you and I could get that drafted and submitted to the board in the near future now that we think things are moving along, to give Mr. Hathi another, let's say, 120 days to get the rehab done. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah, I think that's more than reasonable.
Okay, so I'll have a amendment for the agreement prepared and sent over to Mr. Driscoll's office, and then we'll present it to the board. There's no need for a status date because we'll just put that before the board when it's time.
Okay.
All right, and then we'll probably set a status date when that's approved.
Gotcha.
4 months out, 120 days after. So, all
Okay.
right, that's all I have. Thank you. Thanks, Jamie.
Thank you. Okay, so there's no action currently
Right.
on that one. Okay. Item 10, rental registration hearings. Mr. Farrell,
Good morning.
good morning.
The first two we have up is 7516 Catawba and 7831 Chestnut. Is Mr. Zach here? Here you go.
Mr. Zach.
Hi, good morning.
What we have is, looks like Mr. Zach is a new owner of the properties, took over after the deadline to register. However, with new owners, they have the 30 days to register. Unfortunately, I didn't get in on time for that, so I believe that's why we were here. The one thing I wanted to mention was 7516 Catalpa, understandably still has a homestead tax exemption claimed on the property. I understand the way that the treasurer does it is, taxes payable 1 year to the next. So I just wanted to make sure that Mr. Zach was aware of the form that should be filled out to effectively remove those homesteads when you have rental property, as it's not his primary residence.
And we're just looking at 2022, is that right?
Correct.
Sure. Okay, I wasn't aware of that. They usually have me sign to something during
No
the.
problem. Yeah, we can, if you fill that, the areas with the X's, you fill those out, you get it back to us, we can file it, and
Sure.
it's taken care of.
Okay.
So do you want that to be part of the motion, that he completes the paperwork, or are you comfortable that he's going to?
I'm comfortable with it, take care of it, because there's other properties that the homesteads are removed from.
Okay. Okay. You guys good? Okay, then I'm going to make a motion to waive the late fee for both properties for the year of 2022.
I'll second.
Those in favor?
Aye?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Grounds after the meeting.
And you can,
Paperwork, and you can take care of it.
Yeah, sure.
and you can take care of this if you'd like to, sir, when we're done with the meeting today.
I'm sorry.
You take care of this when we're done with
Yes.
the meeting today. Thank you. 7526 Beach Avenue, Megan Fritz.
Thank you.
So, Ms. Fritz has owned and lived in the property, since 2018, I think it was?
2017.
2017.
Okay.
And so she has recently moved out and has decided to rent the property. And I don't believe they were aware of the 30-day requirement to register in that timeframe. The property was not occupied by a tenant during that time. So when they had a tenant, they have a tenant lined up and they came in to try to register. The lease was past that 30 days registration time, which is why we're here today. So,
2022 only?
yep.
Okay.
Okay, I will make a motion then to waive the late fee for 2022. And as you heard him say, that you can take care of that at the end of today's meeting.
Yes, thank you very much.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And just let me add, if this is your first rental,
Yes, sir.
this is something that needs to take place on an annual basis between January 1st, April 15th.
Understood, definitely. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nick.
All right, thank you. That'll
Thank
do
you.
it.
And we can take care of this as soon as we're done with the meeting today. Okay, anything further, Mr. Farrell? No, that'll do it. Okay, I think that might do it for us. Meeting's open to the public. Anyone here care to speak? Publicly?
Chris? Nothing? Okay, whatever. Okay, I'm going to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you all.